I think the biggest problem is the way we've organized schools. We haven't organized schools that are actually designed to meet the needs of kids, right? If we were to do that, we would do school. Schools would look different. There would be more. The arts would be present in schools because kids have almost a natural appreciation for the arts. We'd see more physical activity because kids are not passive learners. We'd see more inquiry and investigation in learning so the kids were not simply sitting and receiving, but also involved in probing and questioning and constructing knowledge as a part of the learning experience. It's rooted in traditions that are so outdated and so removed from the needs of our society today. What does it mean to be an educated person in the 21st century? What kind of skills should young people have? We should want them to be multilingual, not just conversing in English, right? We should want them to have a knowledge about the world, not just the neighborhood and country they live in. We should want them to have some command of technology because we live in a society, in a world that's increasingly focused on technological innovation. And there are a number of skills, particularly interpersonal skills, that are critical. Can you work well with others? Can you collaborate? Can you problem solve? These are 21st century learning skills. Hip hop is a mode of expression and a mode of entertainment that has captured the imagination of many young people. And so what we want to do is use it as a vehicle for developing other kinds of skills, like skills in literacy, like the ability to present yourself in oral argument, or like the ability to perform. And those are skills that we know carry over into other areas of life. So we can use something that has attracted the interest and the imagination of young people as a medium to develop those kinds of skills. And I would encourage educators to think about how to do that. The kids are already interested in it. What they need is to develop critical literacy skills toward it so that they're not passive consumers even of the hip hop. Not all the messages in hip hop are positive. Some are very negative. And we need them to be able to critique it so they're not just passive consumers. Because when we're, as consumers, we often are uncritical. We are bombarded by advertisements that make us think we need something. And a lot of that is about manipulation of desire. And what we want is for young people to not be so easily manipulated and controlled, but to have a greater sense of awareness about who they are, about what is really in their interest, about what their values and ethics are, so that they are not so easily influenced by what's going on around them. And so to help young people to see that they can also be involved in producing knowledge, and if they can be involved in producing poetry and music, this empowers young people to not only see themselves as consumers but potentially producers as well. Literacy is about the ability to express oneself, to name the world, to participate as a creator and not merely, again, as a consumer. And if we see literacy that way, first and foremost, it does involve increasing the critical awareness of the student to the fact that we are being bombarded with messages that come from politicians, that come from the media, about what we should think and what we should believe. And the more critically aware we are, the less likely we are to be controlled and manipulated. But also, the more likely we are to have an appreciation for the things that affirm life, that the things that contribute toward making the world a better place. Storytelling is very powerful. It's a powerful form of communication. We tend to, from the time we're babies, we like stories. We like stories. It's because stories are a vivid way of learning about the world through the experience of others. I would say that if young people were encouraged to tell their story, to share their story, it would give them a greater sense of ownership in the learning process. I think that many young people are very alienated towards school because their own experiences are not reflected in their learning, the learning that goes on. And we could easily bridge that gap to make kids feel much more connected to learning than they do now.